want to talk about my new Lenovo Legion 7i computer that I bought in late November, but I didn't start using it until right around Christmas. I've just used my phones and iPads, and then I bought a MacBook Pro M2 in 2023. So besides using PCs at work for work purposes, I haven't personally owned a PC in gosh, I'm trying to think, probably 12 years. But I did a lot of research, and the computers that I did use at work, many of them were Lenovo's, and they were the ThinkPads or ThinkBooks, or what you would for business type purposes. Most of those computers were old and tattered, but they continue to work. And I talked to an old IT guy, and he said that they were just superior machines compared to Dell and HP and all that. That was why people would use them. Organizations would use those computers. They just lasted longer, and they were more efficient and built like tanks. I'm on my way to a physical therapy appointment, so excuse my GPS. So I was doing a lot of research, and I was looking strictly at Lenovo computers. And what started my research was actually my wife needing a PC for her real estate. A lot of the software that is used in her real estate here in the state of Washington is PC based, and so using her MacBook Air, that M1 Air that she had, it was getting a little long in the tooth anyway, but she would have to do a lot of workarounds, and she's not a tech person at all. And everybody that in her office, 90% of the people were using PC laptops just because they just work better with what their business entailed. And so I was doing research on those, and we decided on a Lenovo Yoga 9i Pro for my wife, which I will do a conversation video, my journey with gear type of thing. So I was doing a lot of research, and I was like, God, I want a PC laptop. I want one that I can play video games with, and if I can do that, I'll sell my Xbox. Then our daughter was going back to college, and she had an old MacBook Air that she bought for her original going to college purposes. And that was long in the tooth, and it was slow, and it just wasn't going to be something efficient for her. But my MacBook Pro, M2 Pro, 16 gigabytes with 16 gigabytes of RAM and 512 gigabytes of storage, was still running really efficiently for me. And I was editing videos and running my channels off that machine, and I wasn't pushing it to the limits at all. So we figured, okay, I'll buy the PC laptop, and then we'll give the M2 Pro Mac to our daughter to go back to college with, because that's still an efficient machine. That's going to last forever for school purposes and doing that sort of stuff. And then it just made sense. Instead of buying a whole new MacBook, I had this perfectly good Mac that would be just as good as a M5 Air almost, you know what I mean? So we figured, here you go. I mean, and so that machine is just well built too. It's sturdy and all of that, so I felt good about doing that. And then it gave me the excuse to buy a gaming PC that I would use not only to edit videos and stream live and do my interviews and all that kind of stuff, but also be able to play some games every once in a while. I came to the conclusion that I was going to get a Lenovo Legion laptop. It was between the 5i Pro and the 7i Pro or the 7i. Well, I kept going back to the 7i because you looked at the specs and the performance, and it really wasn't that far behind the 7i Pro.
Thanks for watching The Voices of the Enthusiasts. Please subscribe and like.